way more advanced now. So
if you watch my channel,
can I answer the question?
We are actually we're more primitive. We're more emotionally, spiritually primitive today than our ancestors because they spent a lot more time thinking about this stuff than we do.
No, I don't agree. We had more time thinking about surviving than we did. So
no, we think about surviving every day. Exactly. They thought about.
The question is, why do we need to connect with the ultimate source? The reason why is because the ultimate source will remove the suffering that we experience and can help us to exist and to survive and to thrive forever. That's why we need to connect to the ultimate source.
Jan, can I make an interjection there?
Yes, yes.
I believe that we're already connected to the ultimate source, just most people are illiterate to it. You can't live without being connected to the ultimate source of life. It's like a tree. If you cut its roots off, but the tree may not know the roots are there, but they're there.
But right now,
I would agree, Luke. You don't have to be literate to be connected to the thing that created you.
But right now,
Exactly.
so what Luke is saying, guys, just one at a time, guys. What Luke is saying, right now we're connected to the ultimate source, which is not true because some people do end up unalive. Because there is death in this world, that means certain people or most people are not connected to the ultimate source. If you are connected to the ultimate source, you will not be unalive. If that makes sense.
So it doesn't, because name one person in the entire. So you're saying that nobody in the entire world, for the entire history of the world, has been connected to the ultimate source, because every person ever has unalived.
No, I'm saying
I'm
saying the majority.
It's true, whether you like it or not.
So the majority of humanity are not connected to the source, but there are people that existed that were never unalived, and I can name you 3 right now.
Okay.
I can too, but you're talking biblical, right? Only biblical, right? Are there other traditions where there are people that have not unalived in other religions?
No.
So it's only in the Bible. Because even Jesus himself unalived. He just rose again.
Okay, so if you're speaking biblically, Jesus was resurrected.
Yeah, and then Elijah was never unalived. Melchizedek was never unalived, and there was one more.
Enoch,
right?
Yeah, but Enoch's not in the New Testament. So,
but you can't. So Enoch, I don't know if it really counts because it says he walked with God and then was no more.
Yeah, but who took Enoch out of the whole picture?
Okay, so wait, guys, before we move on to a whole other subject, whether who took it out or who took it in, I just want to stick to this. I just want to stick to the fact that if you are not connected with the ultimate source, you will be unalive.
No.
So can I ask one question? Can I ask a question about that?
Okay, so wait. So Alex said you don't agree with that. Then how can you not be unalive?
Well, my point would be we are not aware of the creator or whatever you want to call it. So why would you punish me for it? I'm just trying to survive. We're all just humans. So why would you put me into damnation over something I can't control?
Okay, so you've placed yourself there. The solution has been given to humanity, which is to connect to the ultimate source. But you have right now denied that solution.
I would disagree. We didn't even have books or writing until 10,000 years ago. We've been alive for far longer than that.
We've always had writing. We've always
for
had
300,000 years.
We've always had language. We've always had language. We've always had the ability to communicate. In fact, back in the days, there was more technology than what we had today. We can't even replicate the pyramid, the Great Pyramid. We can't build that right now.
Actually, I agree with that. Right?
And right now, listen. Right now,
there's one in Las Vegas.
Right now, they're discovering coils and pillars under the pyramid. So the pyramid is literally.
Go ahead.
The pyramid is literally the tip of the iceberg. There are much more information. There were much more intelligence back in the days. Wait, okay, Mr. Tacpans, you raise your hand. What did you want to say?
You see, we are all working with information, basically what we see and secondhand. The information truth that we need to find is the information we are innate born with, like the backboard, like the floor we walk on. The ABC 1, 2, 3 is all you need to know. The geometric shapes, how to count, what numbers are. Once you learn about that, you can understand the alchemy of the alphabet and how it interjects amongst the 88 constellations, the 12 zodiac signs, and the 4 parts of the mutable, fixed, and cardinal signs.
Facts. I don't even know who this dude is, but he's speaking the truth.
Okay, so
What you see behind me is the only algorithm that runs with the 7 days a week and the 13 moons. There is no other algorithm as perfect as this, and this stretches out into your deck of cards and all the way down to the Hab of the Mayans, the 25,000.
I don't know about perfect. It might be a really great algorithm, but I don't know if it's the most perfect algorithm on planet
okay,
Earth.
wait, guys. What's how many months is there?
This is, if you look up right now, I get a little excited when I go down the path of thought, because what I do is I scribe on the way that I'm telling you. I don't know the story I'm going to tell you. It depends on my chosen words and what you have said prior to me. You giving me the chance to speak freely. Thank you very much. Much appreciate it.
Yeah.
The Y is the original letter of what is the J. The J did not exist. The Y is the original letter. It is the extremity of the star system of 1 through 9. When you go 1 through 9, your joining area for every single number that crosses through is the 5 area. You can join 4 times through the 5 area, equaling to 20. The 5 area is 1 times 5, equaling to itself. So the lower part of the house is 5, connecting. The upper part of the house is 20. Together it is 25, which is equated in Y, which equates to Trinity. 3 times 120 degrees.
So okay. Let me ask you, how many months is there behind that calendar or that?
Okay, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not an expert on this. All I can tell you is the Mayans call this their 7 and 13 Hab, something to do with how their clock works. The only thing I can tell you why it's perfect is because if you take the equation of 22 divided by 7 is pi, it'll be the same thing as 999,999 divided by 7 will both have the same answer of 142,857, in which every single multiplication of that same number will equate to the same number in every single one of these paliers.
Okay, so you're saying, are you saying that, the letter Y, which is, the letter Y, which is the original J, is that what you're saying?
The letter, before the J existed, right, before they created the complete star, okay, and I really wasn't going into this. This is only my explanations. There are many reasons, right? And not all of them are from my findings. What I do is I study what others say. I balance them out to see what happens in the words. When I hear something new, I'm going to tweak it a little bit towards everybody else's knowledge. I just orchestrate everything together from, if you tell me, like, if you want to find some knowledge, I'm going to show you this dice cube here. This dice cube is a schematic. It rallies itself up against this calculator, which brings itself into Rubik's Cube. It talks about the hexahedron. Everything I tell you can be found online right now. Everything I talk about is part of the alphabet. So anything you want to find is going to come from the alphabet. Otherwise, if you can't say the word, you can't find it. So once you can say the word, you know about it, you can find it through the word.
Okay, so how many alphabet? What's the how many? What's the ultimate alphabet? How many letters?
I can use more than one alphabet because I'm English. I only use the English. Well, not the English, but the alphabet of A, B, C. I know
What's
the
original
French.
alphabet? What's the original
Phoenician.
alphabet?
Phoenician is the original alphabet.
Right, but if I went back to that period of time, how the alphabet changed the algorithm we live with over the past history of the air we breathe. So we are the history of the ancient. The emojis are of today. We don't understand the old emojis, but when we put a smiley face with dots and crying eyes, we understand it. If you put a bird, you would never know that is the breath of your life, your thoughts. Why? Because bird is equal to 33, while the fish is 42. It divides the seventh gate of thought. Now you're with the teacher, down in the basin, at the lower chakra.
So like DNA?
Okay, I know where you're coming from. Are you coming from a Christ consciousness point of view?
20 years ago, I saw something that just since that time, I mean, I'm going to take off my background because, you know, since you let me up, I'll just show you what it really looks like back there.
Oh, wow. What's that? Is that like, what is it?
This is what they taught me to do. This is the visions they gave me. Whoever they are, the teachers.
So are you saying you had visions, like vivid visions in your mind?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was up like 24 hours a day writing.
Wait, I can't. It looks like Aboriginal stuff.
Well, this is just, you know what? I wasn't really doing anything specific other than following the lines. And as I was doing it, it was telling me different stories, right? Like the birds, right? Do you see the birds over here? Actually, those are two eyes coming together. When you put two O's together, it creates an eye in the center. And when you stretch out the nose, depending on how you break over the 45-degree line, remember, we have rules and regulations in mathematics and geometric shapes. This is where the truth lies. The truth lies where you can't lie. You can't lie in the geometric shape. You can't lie in the alphabet. You can't lie with numbers the way you write them down. You can't lie with the mixture of colors. You can't lie when you play a game, Monopoly, pool, darts, pool. It doesn't matter what it is. Take all the games where you can't lie, put everything back together over the algorithm of the constellations, the planets, every single name that you've ever heard of. Okay? It's all a deeper story. It's all a skeleton. Our alphabet is actually dots and dashes on angles connected together. Even in the mathematics, you can't lie. You can't lie in the math. I mean, this has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with artwork. Okay? This is from a game.
Okay, so Mr. Tat, did you get this? Was it influenced by any substance?
Nothing. Zero. Zero.
No substance.
Bridging, okay, bridging from the teacher. Now, when you say substance, I'd like to break it out because you know that this channel's for entertainment purposes only. So substance can be, you know, substance to feel, to bridge. Yes, there's a bridge between us. Everybody knows, okay, I speak English and French. So when we speak French, when we say 80, we go 420. We say 420. It just so happens 420, okay, is going to go to TH and then C. Correct? So when we go to THC 420, number 42, mathematically in what they taught me, is you multiply 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 equals to 6 and 8. There's a dividing and bridging gate between 6 and 8 that runs between 3 and 4. The lower part of the house and the upper part of the house is the same corridor.
Let me just summarize what you've said to the people that's listening. So basically he said, we spoke about 420, and I'm sure most of you know what 420 is. Is that correct?
I think Mr. Tacpans is saying a lot of things, though.
So wait, so you guys know what 420 is, yes or no?
Yeah, well, that's like a holiday in America for smoking weed, but...
Wait, you can't say the word. You can't say that word.
You can't say that?
Yeah, that's why we say 420. Yes, we know what it is. I do.
Mr. Tack, correct me if I'm wrong. So you're saying you use 420 as a bridge to get these visions. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's 420?
The green stuff.
How do I say? Look, how do I say this without saying the word? 420.
Flour? Can you say flour?
420
Grass.
is a green flower. It's a green flower.
Oh yeah. Bob Marley.
Yes.
Would you like me to explain it?
Yeah, go for it. Yep.
Okay. Face of a cube is I need to explain. Listen, I've been doing this for 20 years, so what I'm talking today is an absolute truth. You can check it out. You can calculate it. All my stuff can be calculated. And these cubes are old, and I can go back to the Mayan 25,920 with precision calculations to the division of pi, all the way to the division of the 13, and explain what the 13, the 666, whatever you want to know about numbers. It's not what I tell you because I want you to believe it. It's because you take out your calculator and I'll show you yourself how to calculate it. It's all simple.
Can I ask you a question, mister?
Yeah, sorry if I'm loud. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I've got a volume button over here.
We
If I
rock
need
the
to.
2 Tacpans. Good.
What is the point, not to disrespect any of your work, like what is the ultimate goal? Like what is the point of all these calculations? Like what exactly are you trying to calculate or get a solution to?
I found out that if everybody's going to have a personal relationship, right, with the good Lord, the breath, right, with the good Lord, somehow, some way, how does this good Lord connect? How does this good Lord connect? Why is the RIP at the end of my life? Why do I get the Capricorn stone when they put me 6 feet down when I'm only one person? How can I have 6 feet? Why do they use an IP address in the computer? Right, so now I figured that out. So I know there had to be a creator prior to me arriving here. So in order to define the understanding of the directive of words and of numbers, okay, it has taught me that 1,000%, what we're using in computers right now and what's going on right now, this is ancient. I mean, this is ancient history. This is like going and putting a quarter in the machine and just playing the game. The result is already there in the game. If it wasn't there, you couldn't get the result. When you play Dr. Mario or any game, I can show you even into Monopoly how it brings your birth, okay, and how this planet arrives to the constellations in the game of Monopoly. I mean, it's right in front of us. I mean, Monopoly shows you number 29. Do you know the importance of 29 or 28?
No, but I'd like you to tell me the importance of 29. I really would.
29 is the first day of the new cycle. Now, either that new cycle brings on the king, that child, or you continue on.
Is that because 28 is 29 is the new moon?
Yes.
And 28 is the last moon?
Yes. They represent the king and electric company, 1329. But this is the representation in man.
Wait,
The
how
rep-
did you make that connection?
This, well, I'm going to see if, okay, the connection comes over here.
Oh, shit.
You see,
Oh, my bad.
when you go over to Go in Monopoly, and you go all the way down to, hold on a second, and you go all the way down to electric company, okay, that's 12. Now the female is 12, and you get to have two cubes. You bring the father in, you have 3 cubes. You bring the child in, you got 4 cubes.
You're losing me.
Okay.
Wait.
Each.
So look. He's trying to find these synchronizing events. He's formulating these.
One at a time. Let Luke ask his question.
After this, so you're losing me. I feel like it makes sense to you, but I feel like you're missing a lot of context.
Yes, I am.
Right. So because I feel like you're on to something, but you're working on another level from us.
Oh no, I'm going to show you.
You're giving us little teeny tiny pieces, and it doesn't make a picture.
I'm going to make the picture now.
Okay, but you're jumping from, like, how did you get to the female that goes to female?
I'm going to show you now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Based on the way the Hebrews think and those who follow the moon, the bat mitzvah begins at 12 years old. The bar mitzvah is 13 years old. beginning of separation. Second, 12, 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 13, 1 plus 3 equals to 4. The same corridor of 3 is 4. There's only one separation. They share it together. The halfway space is the 3.5 area, or 0.5 between the two is the E world we have joined to the oceans together in holy matrimony. Mars. Mars and Earth, complete association, the third planet of Earth, the fourth planet of Mars.
So, Tacpans, what is the ultimate thing that you figured out? Because it sounds
like this has just told me that the algorithms are absolutely perfect going back to the Mayan. The pyramid, the Giza pyramid, 5184. Well, the Mayan said to me, who said to you, if you look it up in plain sight, that the last part of the 360 degrees is 5.25 days. Right? 126 is a relevance to the connection to 666. 6 times 6 times 6, 216, which is one of the platonic solids connected to the moon. So, where was I with this? Oh my God! Hold on a second. I just mixed up two stories in my head.
So instead of going with this dialogue, can I ask you I have a theory about the long count, which you talk about a lot. Okay, so the long count was supposed to end in 2012, correct?
It could have been misrepresented as 2015. That when you're looking from the other side, a 12 looks like a 15.
So
we're in 2025 now. We're in 2025.
Yes. So hold on. Let me explain. In Mayan culture, supposed to end in 2012. There's a parable in the Bible that a scholar came out with, and he said that our suffering, the tribulation period is supposed to start in 2025. And the Hindu says that the year of the Kali Yuga is 2025. Now, I have a theory about the Mayan calendar because there is no year zero, and we celebrated 2000, the millennium, 1 year late. Or sorry, 1 year early, because there was no year zero. It went straight from 1 BC to 1 AD. So the actual millennium was in 2001. So the Mayan calendar is a long count. It has two numbers, 7 and 13. So if you add 13 to 2012, what do you get?
13 to 2012? 2025.
Right. So if we celebrated it one count early, then it actually points to 2025 as the end of the world or the beginning of the tribulation. Then you add the other 7, that equals 2232. I believe that those 2 years are going to be pivotal in what Jan was talking about was the ancient technology was another fall of society, and then it rises to a peak and falls again. These stories are pivotal in every religion ever. You have the flood, you have Moses, you have the Egyptians. It goes on and on and on forever, I think.
I agree with that. We've had fallen civilizations all over the place. Atlantis, we've heard about, stuff like that, where we've had technology. Did you see the one thing that's it's like a clock or a gear? What's it called?
The astrolabe.
There's a something gear or whatever. It was used when you were like on a ship.
Yeah, it's called an astrolabe, a Greek astrolabe. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get carried away,
the Kali Yuga does not start in year 2025. The Hinduic Kali Yuga was around 31 BC. So we have technically, it looks like we have around 400,000 more years before the Kali Yuga. Each one is like 1.3 million years long. I don't know where your resources that you're getting for the Kali Yuga, but if you actually look at the Kali Yuga Wikipedia page and you see how they quote the Puranas, you'll see where they are actually using these Hinduic scriptures to calculate these times. So I don't know what resources you've come to say is 20.
Look it up. And the Kali Yuga is March 21st, 2025. Look it up.
Let
Mr. Tac continue with his thought.
everybody, we're all sort of the same in one way or another. The path I like to bring out here is not what they said or someone else said, but what everybody else said, calculated. I want to bring you the calculations, what everybody said, so I have the answer now. Not tomorrow, maybe they change it. I don't know what they're thinking. They were wrong, they were right. So much fake news. I bring you the source, okay, of the calculation of where the English language, okay, has branched the ancients of times. Where today has branched yesterday, showing us the preciseness of this. Do you know what this is? This is part of the 7-day cycle. This cube only has 6 sides. Okay, and when you get to the 6th side, you have completed the complete cube. There are no other calculations. But when you have 2 cubes and you use the lowest with the second from the highest, for the reason that the highest is already inside the lowest, as the 1 becomes the 6, as the 5 becomes the 2. Now you have an equation you can create from this. Secondly, on this planet, they show me when you use these cubes, they don't count them standing like a pyramid. They count them when they're flat. So you can see 4 around and 1 up and down. Believe it or not, for those who know about 1111, it's right here in front of you. Not my perception or my thoughts, but I can show you, and not persuade you, but show you. So you can see it for yourself and then judge yourself. For when you see 5 or 3 or 2 or 4 or 1 or 6, you can also find the same numbers here. So when you see 6 numbers on this calculator, there are 3 numbers you do not see. When you see the 1 centered on this calculator, there are 8 you do not see. When you see 5 on this dice, and you see it here, there are 4 you do not see. Now tell me what you do see.
Wait, what are the 4 I don't see?
Tacpans, are you talking about dimensions?
No, I'm talking to every single side. Okay, if you were an architect and you were doing some blueprints, and I would say put me 2 dots in an area space and 9, you would be leaving out 7 area spaces. So when I would chop this up, I would understand what the diameter of every single area space was going to be. So the measurements for area space of the 2 spaces leaves me enough space for 7 spaces.
So what does that prove, sir?
This is 9. Every single side of this cube is 9.
What does that prove, though?
Not what it proves, what it says. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm telling you what it says because you can say something else. This is what it's going to tell me, or what it tells me. Okay, because I don't want to prove it to you. What it tells me, okay, it's going to be related to anything with 9. It tells me that Rubik's Cube will have the same relationship. It tells me I can replace this with the numbers of the calculator. At the same time, what it tells me, it also tells me that if every 1 is 9, it's 1 and 8, 9. It becomes 2 and 7, 9. It becomes 3 and 6, 9, which is the corridor of 4 and 5, 9. 4 and 5 and 5 and 4 is the passage through the woman. 3 and 6 is how they connect to that passage regarding to the man. The pearls.
So you're saying 9 is the relationship between man and woman?
Relationship for the man and woman, they're in the same corridor. Earth and Mars, same corridor, connected to Uranus and Saturn, Saturn cube. I've only began to speak, and I'm afraid to speak because I just feel something inside this group right now, attention. I don't feel it from the host, but I feel it inside this group. It's not that I want anybody to accept what I'm saying. I'm just showing you what's going on. It's just a game, right? Everybody's got to relax. It's just a game.
No problem.
It's just a game. So, and if my voice sounds harsh, it's I'm trying to hold that tiger back inside of me from screaming out, you know, and I don't want to do that.
We're just messing with you, man.
No, I know. I just, maybe it's just
I'm not messing with anyone, Alex.
I'm
I
not
just want to
messing
say
with them either. I'm
to all
just trying to
the
understand.
people, to everyone on the panel, please be respectful, okay? And please just be respectful to the person that is trying to show us what he has learned from his experiences. Because, you know, I think we can all learn from each other. But we also, like, if you have a question, please also do ask him, but also be respectful with your questions. Like, say it in a respectful way. Don't say it in a way that is provoking. If that makes sense.
I agree.
So if who's got a question now that has, please ask him.
I have a question. What practical use does this have? So, like, can you calculate future events or future things or future numbers that are going to happen?
Right now, I'm still in the learning stage, okay? And yes, we all can do that. All of us know that the sun will come up tomorrow, the moon will set, and the darkness will come in. The darkness was here before the light. So the basics of this for me at the beginning is where I was down the street. I had no idea. I wasn't well, and I was just learning so much, and it made too much sense. It just gave me pieces and parts and told me to shut my mouth, whatever it was, that little thing inside my head. I knew there was something good from it because it wasn't no bad. I was learning. And for me, what good it was is it woke me up to tell me that there is a creator. There is a match in too many algorithms that sets me back hundreds of thousands of years, where I can tell you a story about anything at any time and any relationship, because it's just an alphabet. It's just a word. And how much do you know about the association of letters and their deep in depth of their exact story deep into the star system, that every single planet, every single constellation and zodiac sign, and now we have to connect it to multiple zodiac signs to give some flesh. You know what I'm saying? We don't want it one-dimensional. Nothing is one-dimensional. Everything begins one between two equaling to three. That's the beginning, the tetrahedron.
Numbers, I have a question. Can you calculate? So there is a theory that we don't actually live in the year 2025. That there was a king who rewrote 700 years to legitimize his claim to the throne, and then the world accepted it. There's a theory out there that's like that. Can you calculate what year we're living in from, let's say, a single point in history? You name the point.
Okay, this can be an expression of where the separation between 360 degrees, okay, and hold on a second, between what is the separation of 360 degrees coming into a new dimension, which means this: when we split something in half, we stop at 18. So if we use, I'm just thinking right now, so I'm scribing, I'm looking into the depths of what you said, so I have no idea what's going on right now.
Wait, can I clarify one point that you just said? You said when we split anything in half, it comes to 18. What if we split 2 in half?
Well, no, it also comes 5. It's 5 and 18, sorry.
So if you split anything in half, it becomes 5 or 18?
Yeah, it also becomes 3.
So explain that to me like you're explaining it to a 2-year-old child.
How can you split 3?
Jan, are you getting this?
You don't want to split 3. I think splitting 3 is dangerous.
Here.
Okay.
I'll take off the background for a second.
Okay, 10 and 5.
Yeah, you gotta help explain it.
Okay, so this is what happens. When you double 5 to 10, that's good?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to change that 510, okay, to equal to 100%. I doubled up the 5 to 10, and now it's 100%. Let's say it was 50 instead of 5. It's 50 to, okay, is now 100%. Double up 50%, it's 100%. So far, so good?
Yep.
3 is to 30. 3 is to 30, as 6 is to 60. 60 is 100%. What 18 is to 180, what 36 is to what 360 is 100%. They're now all equal.
You lost me there.
I'm showing you.
No, I'm understanding. So
5 becomes 10, becomes 100%. When 5 is equal to 3, 3 is equal to 6, which is 60 seconds on the clock. 3 is half that time, half represented by 5. I move 3 into 30. For the low 3 for 30, 6 for 60. 60 seconds is 100% of time. 60 is 60% of 100% equals to what 30 is. 18 is 1/2 of what 360 is, means it's 1/2, just like what 5 is equal to 180 to 360.
You're making sense. I understand.
It's 100%.
Yeah, but it makes sense, but it doesn't. Like, what's
360 is 2
You're
times.
looking at it. Let me say this. I think you guys are looking at it from the math you were taught. He's explaining it in a correct way. I understand what you're saying, but we can't.
I'll show it to you simpler.
He's looking at it from what I see. You know, the 360 is that applies to a lot of things.
To everything.
Well, what I did is the 0 really doesn't change anything. All the 0 does is it puts another rung onto something. If I show you 1 egg and tell you every egg is 8 plus 1, okay, and give you 2 eggs, then you'll say you have 16 plus 2, and then I'll give you 3 eggs, okay, you'll say you'll have 24 plus 3, right? So you go 1 egg around another egg, and now 1 egg inside another egg inside another egg. Every single one's going to have 1 because every single one's going to hold the heart of the entire eggs that go around the entire eggs, like the little Russian dolls.
So basically, he's talking about fractals right now.
Yeah,
So who understands fractals?
I know fractals.
So fractals are basic. So fractals are like Russian dolls. Okay. So outside and inside there's another doll, and inside of that there's another doll, and another doll, and another doll. So okay, so Mr. Tack, you know what fractals are?
Yeah, a little bit. You see, when I started this work, when I started learning this, I only learned, they just showed me this, that, the other thing. My mind saw this. I started having visions and, waking up all the time. Wherever I was writing on everything. And but before we get into that, can we back up a second to something? Because Luke asked a question before and I never answered it. And I wanted to.
I just want to show everyone a quick definition of fractals. Is that okay?
Oh, fantastic. Listen, you're the host, you're a fantastic host, and the reason I say that is your diplomacy and as well reading back what I'm doing is the same thing. I love what you're doing because that's what we need. See, everybody in this panel should try and not only just listens, it's important that because we can be 6, right? But it's just like the 1% like running a government, right? So this is like we have a whole society going on, and really we should be paying attention. Really the comments should be the most important. Sorry, I don't want to say this in your place, but this is what I've learned over the time. And we all have to remember what somebody else said and do the same thing as what the host is doing, is remembering pieces and parts so we can share back with the host that this is our reflection of what we saw, and the host can reject it all back onto us, the big splash.
Yeah, no, I think, that's right. Like we need to be patient with each other and just and try to understand each other and where we're coming from. Totally. No, just give me a sec. Let me thank you for that comment, and just let me show everyone what I mean by fractals. And this is a very simple definition of fractals. I'm just gonna enlarge my screen here, and then I'll put Mr. Tack back on. So this is a blank page. So what a fractal is basically things that are repeated over and over again, but in its own unique way. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. In its own unique way. But it's like having babies. I have a baby. Okay, it's repeated. It's a repeated human being, but it's not a clone. It's a baby of its own identity. And the baby can have another baby with someone else. So a baby can have another baby, and another human being can have another human being, and another human being can have another human being. But all these human beings are unique. Although they're the same, although they're all human beings, but they're still unique. So this is what fractals is. Simply put, can everyone see this?
Yeah, the spiral. They make that perfect spiral.
Yeah, so it's a spiral, right? It's a spiral. So it's a spiral, and it keeps going and going. But each spiral is unique in its own way, but it's still a spiral. All right, Tacpans, you're back on. So is that the spiral that you drew?
Yeah.
So that's a fractal. source? That's the question. Or who is the ultimate source?
You say the ultimate source is the universe.
No, well, that's basically saying nothing there. Like, we all know what the universe is, but we don't know what the universe is or who the universe is. So we need to understand the ultimate source. So going back to Mr. Tack, I just want to understand from what you've gathered so far with all of your equations and numbers and all of your visions, what is the meaning? What is the ultimate message that is trying to show you? What's the ultimate message?
The ultimate message I had for me in the work I'm doing, is that the question in that direction?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think people on the panel, they want to know what's, because they want to know what's the purpose of all of these equations, all of the stuff that you're trying to.
Okay, this has proven to me that they're absolutely needed to have computers in order to know, and okay, in order for me to know what I know, in order for whoever created this or for this cycle to exist, somebody needed to have a computer. There is no way anybody figures this out that easy. Never. I have this calculation that I have done with these dice cube, with the deck of cards, with the alphabet, with numbers and colors and Rubik's Cube, matching up to the moon and the planets and the constellation and the piano and hockey and baseball and soccer and football and darts, to your REM sleeping, to the Trinity, to the reason why all the numbers exist, that number one is not one alone, that every single number can only go to 6 because after that it's a completion at 7. It's even shown to you. The equation of what's in front of you is also oh, I have to find this. Very important. Very important.
Take your time, Jack. I'm interested. Cool.
Yeah, so you know what, before I get to that, because I want to look for it, I want to show you the Monopoly thing, because Luke did ask. I want to finish this, okay? Because the female in the Hebrews has a bat mitzvah at the age of 12, the 12th month is the 336th day. The 13th month, when they crown for what something didn't exist to now to something that does exist, is man. It becomes the woman. So somehow the woe came in, the 11, the creation came in to the man. How can I just want to explain it so it's understood. The male is number 13. The male has the bar mitzvah. And what's weird about this, okay, the Star of David has the same equation. First of all, to let you know that 12 and 13 is in half area space. You need 13, 15, 15, 17 to complete a complete area space. So having 12 and 14 around 13 creates a half area space. I'm going to show you this. Remind me, please. 12 is the female.
No one understands what you're saying, bro.
I disagree. I disagree. I absolutely understand.
13, 16.
Remington, could you please be respectful and let Mr. Pan, Tacpans, finish his thought, please?
It's just throwing numbers around.
Just let him finish his thought, because you're interrupting.
Remington, just let Pan talk, and then he could talk after.
So, it seems so. From what I've gathered, like, your basis is 6, right? Am I correct?
My basis is game theory. That every game and everything we do will tell a different story. There will be different numbers involved. Where 6 is involved, okay, is the cube has 6 sides. Where 6 is involved is when every single side has an area space of 9. The basis of understanding in my game, I'm playing a game, I'm gathering information, trying to create a game. This game must be based on everything, every algorithm that is running, that we've been indoctrinated with, whether it's a lie or the truth, I don't care. We all spent time with it. We know.
I agree. I see I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So basically what Mr. Tack is saying, right now he's showing us a game theory. And what game theory is basically, there are many different game theories out there. There are win-win game theories, there are win-lose game theories, there are lose-win game theories, and there are a well-known game theory which is called equilibrium. Have you heard of that? Basically, a scientist has came up with this, but this scientist, there's a movie about him. This scientist had schizophrenia. Have you heard of this scientist? Okay,
is it tic-tac-toe? Is that the equilibrium game? Everybody, it always
most scientists have schizophrenia, bro.
Remington. I'm talking about this specific scientist who came up with a game theory. It's called people use it on a daily basis for business and marketing and all that kind of stuff. It's called.
Never met a genius that wasn't a psycho.
Yandre, you're talking about
that's not true.
I've met many geniuses, and they're all crazy as fuck.
No, they're not crazy.
I love
You're
them.
just misunderstood.
So Remington,
No,
please
exactly.
not interrupt.
Misunderstood.
Okay, but please don't interrupt, because when people speak, you need to let them speak, right? If you interrupt, you're not going to understand what they're talking about. So Mr. Tack, so in terms of a game theory, so in terms of this game theory, when you say game theory, what theory of the game what's the game theory that you're proposing to us? What's this theory?
Hold on a second. I just want to see if my camera turned around. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. First, it had no name. How far back and how deep do you want to know how I came up with what I'm going to say? So this is what I call it. It's geo-alphanumeric. And what this is, it's about dots and dashes, things that are, first of all, fair to everybody, that we can all relate to, where we can't argue, where if there's a discussion, it's going to be a base discussion. Like, is it a 5 or a 9? Well, guess what? Two perspectives in that situation is just fine and dandy with me. You can turn it any way you want. If you each have your own perspective of the same shape or design, that's fine and dandy. Because when you put your design towards something, an angle, either it is a 45 degrees or you went off the center. Either you are more on one side or the other of what is the angle of 90 degrees, which cuts across 180 and 90. When you do say this, okay, when you do say this in shapes and you write something down, you will write the letter L. L is a representation according to Genesis. And someone who knows nothing about the Bible or anything other than what he hears, and he takes it very lightly, for the child that knows nothing before even a book is put to its hands, okay, is that when you say land, animal, and man, the animal came the same day, and it came...
Remington, let him talk.
Let him finish.
When you use the L, the 12th letter, joining the two zodiac signs for the land, animal, and man, the L is noted to be what is angle. So it's either the left or the right angle, the left or the right angle. Remember to ask me about that. So when we come here with the LAND, okay, it is not AND. 31 represents the connection between the lower and the upper source. L is the 12th letter. AND is 19. 19 and 12, 31. That source is the ladder between the two. It's Jacob's ladder, 1331, now being represented by Elon Musk. Don't talk about it yet. Okay? What happens... okay, is when you connect, where do you connect? Do you have to be silent and have a non-disclosure agreement, NDA? Or was it your AND DNA that came in association through the 7th gate because of the ampersand located on the 7 key of your keyboard? Look down at your keyboard. The ampersand is on the 7. It's the AND sign. AND DNA. Number 19, connecting the lower source of Sagittarius into the upper source of connecting your ABCD10 with Capricorn to Capricorn stone, which gets the Leo headstone when you come to the birth under the house of I Am. It's a twin source. It's two mothers. The story of Abraham and all this, I use some of the understanding for, if they said two women, 2 fits with 2 fits with brown, 2 fits with this. When you're sitting on the throne, we have to understand where we find these things. These are where I find my stories. This is the truth. You want truth? It's sitting right in front of our eyes. We don't need really any books. We just need each other in the stories.
Wait, were you saying creation was 2 women? Because that doesn't make any sense, bro.
The house of Abraham, Okay, Hagar and Sarah.
Well, how about I throw this out there? Like, what about the ancient books of the Sumerians?
Oh yes, we can use them all. I'm only using one. What? This is not linear. This is big. This is a star system we live in. There's many things inside this story where we're brought. You see, the end result is me and you are here today.
Yes, that is amazing. Well, like, what the heck are we doing here on a magical phone, talking to each other in this way? That is a miracle. That is a miracle.
Within your name, Ming, not only to add on the mingle, you added on the ton. Ton can be a metric 1, okay, 2.20462, or what can be 2,000, equating to what is 4 times 1440. 2,000 pounds for a ton.
So Tacpans, you're not religious. What got you on this journey?
I'm really interested in the what's the old yards or the Egyptian yard? What do they call that?
I don't know. I got so many things in my head right now because somebody asked a question. I was thinking of your name, Ramses.
Keep going, bro.
Okay, what brought me on this journey? I'll get with you in a second, Ramington. I wanted to continue on what's behind me. I wanted to finish, but not. I had 20 years ago. I had a vision in the sky. I saw. I'm going to tell you. I don't like to say this, but if you go to Columbia Pictures, there's a lady with a blue robe and a white, and the hairstyle. Every time I saw this woman in Columbia Pictures, for me, okay, it had to do with the mother of Jesus. So the minute I saw it, I just thought of the mother of Jesus right away, and all I kept talking about is the devil. And that night, and for the next couple of days, the only thing that went through my head at that period of time, okay, was the mother of Jesus and the devil, and the Jesus and the devil and the mother of Jesus and God and the devil. And then the blanket they gave me when I went into the hospital, because I couldn't figure out what was going on in my head, but yet I was vibrating, so it was beautiful. I look at the blanket they gave me. The same blanket they gave me in the hospital was the same blanket that Moses was walking around with. Every hospital bed has it. And each one of them, if you take a look at the old hospital blankets, they all have the barcodes on them. Has anybody ever noticed that?
No.
Yeah.
They're all barcoded. So let me finish with the Monopoly right now before we let host repeat what I said, because I want to show you this Monopoly. What happens, and I'm going to tell you why it's male and female, and what helps me to distinguish, to make the separation or division between the two, but yet I still didn't finish with the Bat Mitzvah and the Bar Mitzvah, the 12 female, the 13th moon for male. Someone has to remind me about that.
Well, I think you got
got you.
13
I got you.
and 12 is
Got the
female.
red moon, the blue moon.
The Bat Mitzvah, bat for bat means upside down, because that's what they have taught us. The T is a location of 4 areas. It's the back heart of the star. Which area is it? It's the heart area of that star, because T is a representation of 4 crossing 5s. 4 times 5, 20. When you connect the star, 7 over to 3, 9 over to 1, 4 over to 6, 8 over to 2. That's your star. This is the 9 I work with. I only can work with that truth, nothing but the truth, but the whole truth. And guess what? We each use these all the time. Everything has been shared with us in my game. And there is a creator in my game, and perhaps
I actually get something you said earlier now. Now it makes sense. Okay, there's actually only 9 numbers in the alphabet, or in our number system. Yes, and 0 is something else.
Until
Okay.
the Persians showed us 0. I'm not sure it was the Persians, but we had no number for 0.
association.
We still don't have. It's
thousands
still
of
technically
years.
not a number. It's non-existent.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we
But
can't
it-
even quantify 0.
You can't quantify 0 if you don't have 0
But
apples.
we can't
You have no
quantify.
apples on 0.
So that goes back to my calculation before. I'm not sure if it was in this chat, But zero, we can't quantify zero, and we can't quantify infinity.
Exactly. So are they one and the same? That's the question.
Yeah.
Oh my God! One
is
in the same.
zero is
Your words are perfect for my. Who's got a pen? Did I do this in this chat? So, I had a theory when I was very young, and I was learning math, and I actually asked it my Persian friend, and he ridiculed me, and you guys will ridicule me. But right, you got a pen, bro?
Tacpans is
Not me. I don't know. I can't find one anywhere, you know.
This guy.
you got a piece of paper?
Can you reach it?
Yeah.
Can you
You know what, mister? I got you beat. I got you beat in my office, honey. You don't want to see all my writing utensils in my office.
You're speaking to a guy who's got painting all over his room.
I love it.
He's drawn
It's
all over
so
his
unique.
entire house.
Cool. I mess with the art in the
Brother.
back. Cool.
Can you?
Does anybody know the importance of this color?
Oh, yeah.
Orange.
Orange.
Let's not get off subject.
I was just looking at color psychology
please,
this morning. That's so cool.
Do it.
Write this down for me. Exactly as I write it. Exactly as I say. Zero is less than or equal to 1. So the sideways triangle, the underscore.
Well, you're saying 0 is less than or equal to 1? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's true. It's a true equation.
That's true.
No.
It's in algebra.
Well, if you look at the foundation of math and numbers, it kind of makes sense.
Oh, wait. Remington. All right.
Let me finish.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get you to finish. So what's the equation? What's the
Is
equation?
less than or equal to 1.
What's the question again?
Yes.
Is 0 what? Is 0 what?
Wasn't a question.
Did you write the equation as I said?
Yes.
Remington, you said 0 is less than or equal to 1.
1 is less than or equal to infinity. So
Hold on. Did you tell me to write something else now? Because I'm still writing here. Just
I want you to
Here,
write this.
I'll put it in the chat for you. He wrote it in the chat.
Everyone, just pay attention. Let Remington finish. Remington, start over again because people
Right.
are talking over you.
0. So the circle, the sideways triangle, the sideways V with the underscore. 1. Sideways V underscore infinity. The upside 8 on the side. So please just draw this for me, because I want this put down in the records.
Remington, put it in the chat, bro.
yeah, you got to put in the chat because I'm having problems, and I would like to make a comment.
It's already there for you. It's right there for you.
0 is less than. I can't do a sideways infinite fucking thing in the chat.
I'm looking for it.
Is equal, less than or equal to 1.
Okay, I got that. I just want to say something to everybody in the comments and in the comment section and everybody else here. All of us here, all right, have chosen to come up here for a reason. Whatever that reason is, whether it's personal or interpersonal or whether it's global or whatever it is, we're still here, right? Hopefully it's all for the good reason. My good reason for being here, okay, is to share my understanding and belief that there is a creator, and I'm only hoping for the goodness of everybody. So my work I share is hoping that will wake others up to show that there have been computers before and that somehow this system.
Write this down. Please write this down. It might be rubbish.
There you go.
And so 0 is equal to or less than 1.
Yes, because that piece in the center that joins the trinity is the 1 minus 1, 0, that equals to both of what they are. It's like going into the Olympics and winning the gold over the silver and bronze.
Yeah, you haven't heard the punchline yet.
Oh, okay, the punchline. I thought it was a real, I was giving you the real, this equation.
What's the punchline? What's the punchline?
He doesn't have one.
All right, so 0 is equal to or less than 1. 1 is equal to or less than infinity. The punchline is infinity is equal to or less than 0.
X.
We go back in a circle.
Yeah, but aren't you trying to talk about like quantum computing? Because that's not an actual equation, if you want to put it that way.
This is my E equals MC squared, and one day in 1,000 years,
bro, you don't have
guys will go and write my name down. Write my when you wrote that equation, you put my name on it. Remington.
Who puts your name on?
You write the date. I came up with this.
I didn't see your name on the paper, little bro.
No one has proved me wrong, and no one will ever be able to prove me wrong.
Nothing can be proven wrong, but can I say the same thing in a different way? Actually, because I have the exact same belief, and I tried to say it earlier, and I was cut way off by like
1 is 0. 0 is in.
Luke, go ahead and talk. Remington just keeps yapping at this point.
Okay, so
it's a mathematical improbability. You cannot prove me wrong.
Okay, wait.
Can I explain it in a different way?
Yes.
Okay, so 0 is equal to nothing, correct?
Yep.
0 cannot
Incorrect. Wait. Incorrect.
Hi.
Okay, 0 is actually not nothing, because 0 is something.
If you multiply 0 by any number, what do you get?
You get 0, which is something.
No, you get error. Like,
Hold on.
put it in your calculator right now. 0 times.
0 is the gateway. Don't you see the word itself talks for itself? Let the word speak. Let the word talk. Can you not see the word speaking? Because you do not know the numbers, you cannot know the word. So you do not know the word you speak.
No, please don't break it down to numbers yet.
Okay, go ahead.
So, please just write this. Like, you may not be able to write it mathematically, but write down the words as I say.
You already wrote the word and put it mathematically, so what are you talking about, bro?
You already said it thousands of times.
0 is equal.
Remington, stop yapping, bro. Jesus Christ, man.
I want to get this on paper, and I'll shut the heck up.
It's on paper, bro. He showed it to you.
0 is equal to or less than.
Remington, stop, because you're really pissing me off.
He already did that, and I put it in the chat too.
Remington, I'm gonna get someone else. I'm gonna get
equal.
Kick him, man. Kick him.
Remington. People have said. Remington, can you please respect the panel?
Please give me 2 more seconds, guys. Infinity is equal to or less than 0.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so Sasha,
Remington, put my name on the bottom.
Remington.
Sasha, guys, just quickly, Sasha has just joined. I just want to ask Sasha in terms of this, in terms of what Mr. Pack is showing us. Sasha, what are you? What's your view or understanding of what Mr. Pack is showing us? Or Mr. Tack, sorry.
I don't.
Thank you, Mr. Tack.
I'm not sure because I kind of came in the middle of it, so I'm really confused confused on like what I'm looking at.
So Mr. Tack,
Everyone's
Mr. Tack,
confused.
can you just quickly explain to Sasha, just in a quick, simple way, so she can be on the same page with everyone?
Yeah, also,
Right.
Sasha, I put in the chat, if you like scroll up, I put down the founders of like the early game theory and zero-sum games. There's like 5 names. If you scroll up there, you should see like.
Okay, so
Oh, okay,
Mr. Tack,
sorry.
that's all right. Mr. Tack has brought up something called a Trinity. Now, Mr. Tack, do you believe in the Holy Trinity?
Okay, if you explain to me what that is, I only can tell you what I do, and I have no names on anything. So if somebody gives it a name, then and I do it, then I'll say then I do it. But I don't know. Do I believe in what I do? Well, if I'm doing it, then I must believe in it. I mean, I'm not sure if it's an association of some cult, but I do know if I'm doing it, then it's an algorithm of some sort, and nobody owns it. It can't be patented. I can probably break a ton of patents showing you that it's an algorithm we live with. Nobody can own it.
Okay, so you want me to explain to you the Holy Trinity in a different way, and then you will let us know whether if you agree with that. Is that right? Okay. All right, so Sasha, I'm just gonna ask you, because you just joined. I want to give you a chance to speak. Do you know? Can you give us a quick definition of the Trinity?
The Holy Trinity?
Yeah.
The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Yeah. So the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so that's your quick definition.
Yeah.
Now, does it?
Oh, sorry.
Yep. That's okay. Now can you go a bit more in detail for Mr. Tack? Or if anyone else want to come up and explain the Trinity, could you please do so as well?
So the Trinity is like saying like God is like 3 entities. Like the Father's like the main, and the Son, which is Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
3 in 1, you know?
Yeah, that in my work, I'm not talking about books now. I'm not talking about books. But if I take the books and I match it up against my work, I can show you where it exists.
Okay. So can you show us? So what are you holding now?
This is a tetrahedron. When sitting with the point up, which equals to the division. Why is it equal to the division? Because with this point up and these 3 sides is a 120-degree division, a trinity held in the 5 platonic solids.
But any point up is the same thing.
Any point up is the same thing, and always remember the goalie always stays in the net on the bottom. Each one can turn 3 parts, equaling to 369, and then once you switch it over, it's 369. So you can do this, I think it's 4 different times before this cycle is over.
So in terms of mathematics, you're saying in terms of mathematics, Trinity is the number 369.
Trinity cannot be created before. Trinity happens only after creation. Trinity happens because of the baseboard of creation, the motherboard, the backside of the board. With what I showed you up before, the design I showed you before, I'll put it back up over here. Okay.
Mark, Tat, can I ask you a question? Is that a correlation between time, space, and matter? Because that's like a trinity as well. They cannot exist without the other. Everything is interwoven, and that's the 3 particles that create up the universe.
Well, that's also us being in the third dimension also. So.
Okay, so Mr. Tack has just said Trinity cannot exist before creation. So that just that's not aligned with what the book says, because the book says that the Trinity is God. Okay, so I'm just
okay, because it's not explained properly.
Okay.
What happens is alpha comes within beta inside the created house. Okay, which is noted to be what is either the delta heaven or the heavens itself, which is all of the heavens, which is number 8. So 1, 2, and 8 come together to create this. But you need 1 and 2 to come together to create that trinity.
Okay, so, okay, interesting. So you're saying that
Your first block without a heart is an 8. Your second block.
Okay. You're saying before Trinity, this is what you're saying. I'm going to write it down, see if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
And please, everyone, let me know if this is correct. Okay. How do I, give me a sec. I think my camera is not flipped. Does that make sense? How do I flip it and make it?
Okay.
You have to find the mirror setting.
Okay, just press the 3 dots on the right side, the far right.
Yep.
Press that. Go up to the top. You'll see a green. Okay, you did it.
Good. Yeah. All right. So, is this correct?
Unity before Trinity. Yes.
What about anyone else?
Well, what are you saying? So there's 1 before there's 3, right? Is that what we're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, so what I'm trying to say is Trinity is a form of unity. So, but in order to have Trinity, there must be unity, if that makes sense.
Well, I would agree with
So
that.
unity couldn't be 1. You can't.
You have to have 1.
You need more than 1 to have unity.
So to have unity,
First, second, and third.
First, second, and third. Gold.
Did you guys?
Gold connects to both what could be bronze and silver seconds. Now, when you do this, this is when God rests. Sorry to say that, right? And the reason for that is because they take a stand. How do they take a stand? They take the band stand inside our BAND as part of our DNA. This connection over here, okay, is just like A and B, but forget about that for a second. I have to calm down. First, ST. Second, ND. Those are the first 2 in the Olympics. Those are the last 2 in the finals. When you have the gold between the silver and the bronze, it becomes the one that connects the 2. The heart never changes. The mothers could change over here. It's 2 for the mother, 1 for the father. One source. You need to connect 1 over to the 2 and 2 over to the 1. Why do I say that? The left side and the right side. They each have to connect, and it has to connect to the main central source going down the center. The delta angle, okay, 2 delta angles. The ace can be split in half. An area space by a singular area space here, okay, is inside a singular cube. So the minute you create this A letter, you're dividing this cube between 2 sides. When you divide these 2 sides, according to what, thank the Lord for sharing with us directions. I couldn't go anywhere on the map in this universe without this map. So I want to know which direction you're going. Are you going to the left hemisphere or to the right hemisphere? R is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. L, okay, is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. That means we have 3 times the difference, or 12 difference with 18 is 1.5. Remember that. Right? In blackjack, it's 1.5 times the wager when you get the blackjack, 21. That's like A and B, right? So here it is.
Yeah, kind of. It's a little backwards, though.
This is backwards?
No. What you just explained to me, that's blackjack 21. That's backwards.
Yes. Backwards. Yes. Because
Reverse, backwards. Yeah.
So the ace itself in blackjack can be used as 1 or 11. Okay. The ace is also 1. So when you get blackjack, what was 1 first, okay, ends as it began at 21st. That's when the cycle of 20 ends. It ends at 20th. When you get the 21st, the ST is repeated. So now we end everything at 20. The Mayan calendar works with 7 and 13, 20. When
Yeah.
you
I feel like all of this just comes to time. It just all, like, it all ends up with, it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm looking, I looked in the picture you showed, right, of this, you had the symbols of one in the middle, and it was branching off into three, right? Yeah. I looked in my keyboard, and I don't know if I can say this. It's the Rainbow community. They have a transformer symbol, I guess. I put it in the chat. It looks very similar to that symbol, and I've seen that symbol, you know, drawn several different ways. But all of these things that you're explaining to me, there are all these systems and cycles, but it all has to do with just that, like cycles, time.
It sounds like accounting.
I don't know if I'm
random
explaining
numbers
it
and
properly.
Oh yeah, you're just saying algorithm. All I hear you saying is there's algorithms out there. I see them. I can't explain it.
Algorithm, yeah, I'd agree.
So,
There's
Mr.
an
Tack,
algorithm.
can I ask a very simple question? I just want a simple
time
answer.
is an algorithm, though.
Well, it could be, but let me ask you a question. Based on your research and all the algorithms that you see everywhere, do you believe it's possible that we're actually living in a simulation?
You know what?
Sorry, I got a call. That we're actually living in a simulation?
I don't know what word to put to it, but I can repeat the same thing. Everything has existed before we even got here. There's possibly thousands of what we're living in right now.
So yes.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hold on, let me explain a little bit further. If there is a creator, then there's nothing natural. Everything is artificial because it was created.
You have to create something. Something has to come from something. Otherwise, it's, would you call it animal or beast or bird, or what do you call it? We have a common breath, okay, that associates the conscience of all of us. We are huge. We are what shaped the lands. I mean, everything.
We are the creators?
I have to go back to the beginning. If you look at, I'm just going to jump on a few things. Do you know this crazy thing? Hello, Ma. Yeah, you found the what? 3 letters on the floor? What letters did you find? U, F, and O. Oh, 366. Dad, you found what on the floor? You found the crucifix. Yes. C for 3, R for 9, U for 3, C for 3, I for 9, F for 6, I for 9, X for 6. Yes, they did it on purpose. Not until we had alpha beta can we create anything at all. It rests into the mutable signs. I understand what you're saying. Yes, the first air sign is Gemini. I understand it runs over towards Libra, creates 3 and 7, 10. Yes, that's where Gimel and Gamma come together, and that's why the exchange is C for the 7 and G when they go alpha, beta, Gimel, and then they go alpha, beta, and Gamma in Greek. I understand. Yes, thank you. That was just my parents on the phone, just relating to me to tell you all what you might have just heard from me.
Gotcha. So, do you think that anything can be created or destroyed in the universe, or just change form?
Okay, I'm not a scientist. I know I can do things with words and numbers, and everybody knows things break down and can be rebuilt. Can they rebuild it any faster than we understand of what is?
They're not destroyed. They just become neutral. They're never destroyed. Energy.
Nothing can ever become. Nothing. The third law of thermodynamics states nothing can be created or destroyed in the universe, right? And we can actually logically back that up. If I burn wood, it becomes energy, it becomes carbon, it becomes gases and ashes, right? It can only change form. Now, if there's a creator of the universe, that means that it had to actually create what I would call the scientific trinity, which is time, space, and matter, all at the same time. If it was separate from the universe, then it created the universe as a separate entity from itself. But here's my theory. I think that it just as woman was created from man with a rib, I believe that the singularity, or the creator, took a part of himself and created the universe. And and here's my backup in the Bible, the book. We'll go with the book, right? In John, it says, in the beginning, the Word was with God, and the Word was truly God. But it also says that God spoke and created the universe. So does that not mean that the universe is God, but he is also the author of it?
Can you repeat that again?
From what point?
From the word.
The
two noted. Okay, say in the beginning, and then I have a question for you. I want you to think while you're telling us this. I want you to, and I don't want the answer until you're finished. I want you to tell me only after what you think about either yourself or others, or what you've heard on the grapevine of what you do when you write the word God out. Do you use the letter O? I don't want the answer now, please.
I see what you're saying too, Luke, though, at the same time. I was listening.
Okay. Right. So if in John it says, in the beginning, the Word was with God, and the Word was truly God. And most Christians will say, well, that's Jesus. But Jesus is God also. But then it also says in Genesis that God spoke and created the universe. So does that not mean that everything in the universe is God, which is also therefore a trinity, which is time, space, and matter? And some of the things God cannot do. He cannot be created or destroyed. He's infinite, just like the universe. And everything in the universe, nothing can be created or destroyed. It can only either be tapped into or change forms. That's it. And you're right, you cannot spell God without the O in the center, which is actually infinity itself, because a circle has no beginning or end.
And we're tying our creator to a language that we made.
And then,
exactly.
so let me go one step further.
Then you can even, in his theory, Luke, not to interrupt you, like, you can even break those letters down into numbers as he's been doing, you know, like the word God, I'm saying, you know, with the O being infinite, right? Or I look at it as the end. You know, you could look at it a million different ways depending on just what system you're using, you know?
Religious, when we go down
totally agree.
Or Latin, like, why are we talking about American letters?
But let me break this down
or
even
English,
further, right?
My bad.
So
English.
Everyone has a name for the creator, even atheists. Let me break this down. I got cut off earlier because nothing doesn't exist. When an atheist talks about the creation of the universe, they say nothing created the universe. Well, let me tell you something. If your nothing suddenly becomes everything, that's a pretty magical nothing. And then you ask them what happens when you die. Nothing. You go back into nothing. You mean you merge back with your creator? That's heaven. You're literally talking about the same thing with another name.
They look at it as dirt, I guess. Just, you know, like, I wouldn't even say, if you're looking at an atheist, they're not looking at heaven. They're looking as you're going back into the soil.
But listen to what they say.
Back into the earth.
When they say it, you literally replace the word God with nothing, and they're saying the exact same thing.
It works out.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Luke. I 100% understand. It's infinity. You know, it's.
I can't read it. And it says what? NOTH.
Nothing divided in half.
No, NO is 29, TH is 28, ING is 30. The association of this equals to 57. 57 is male and female. It connects to the electric moon. Okay.
Wait, I thought 12 and 13 was male and female.
This is, 1 times, in star math, you can create a single digit through star math, which is 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. And is it reliable? I'll tell you in a second. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 and 2, 5. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4, 7. This will equate to what is something you spoke about before. I did not have the time to interject to explain it. 28 is the end of one cycle, 29 is the beginning of another cycle, and 30 is the creation. It only happens in the context of quadra, because there are 4 months of 30 days. This is your alpha beta creation, okay, times 10. All rotation of 1, 2, creating 3, 4, 5, creating 9, and 8, 7, creating 15, 1 and 5, creating 6, is where this comes from. How to associate and understand what your mutable numbers are, 3, 6, and 9. They only come from 1 and 2, and they don't exist, and I will show you if you'd like to see, if you give me the moment of time.
Hey, Mr. Tacpans, what do you think about quantum computing?
Explain. I don't know anything. I don't know what that is, really. I can guess what I think I might know about it, but unless I understand what level you are in your thinking, I cannot make a judgment call.
That's fair. That's fair. We don't have to deep dive into it.
No. I have to be this way because I mean, who am I? What reputability do I have here? I know no one. No one knows me, and maybe what you hear and may know of me might mean something, but not all might know what one knows, other than the other.
Okay, let me ask a question. Is God outside of numbers? Can God exist outside of numbers?
Well, I know if I need to speak to God and I don't know how the whole system works, who I am, and I'm looking for a source, right? I think it exists within inside of you because only you need to look. It's not something tangible. It's the complete, what everybody calls the source. I mean, they even showed it to us. You want to see God, first of all, the 6 days is a representation back to the moon to where 7, 5, and 7 only connect through 6.
Just quickly, God is an English word. It's not. It didn't exist in the original scripture. If that makes sense.
Well, technically, it's actually just a title.
These are all being explained through Christian views, though. Like, what about the other religions? Have you even considered, including them?
Yep.
Or all the other numerical systems and alphabets?
First of all, when you say if you want to change God, you want me to tell you what it changes to? And I don't remember where I got this source from. Okay. It changes to COD. One side is G, the other side is C, the upper and the lower. So it becomes cash on demand.
Thank you.
I was like, Call of Duty? I knew it. I knew there was something in this game.
Wait, don't be disrespectful. He was being serious.
I'm sorry, man. I couldn't help it.
It was just a joke. It was
pretty funny.
serious.
Even he laughed, right?
Well, I don't think he knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, but Mr. Tacpans, what about Buddha? What about,
Everyone. They're all included. Don't leave anybody out. They made a movie, leave no one out. I leave no one out. If you give me a letter, I will take that letter. I got 26. If you give me 2 letters, I will make the combination of 2 until I get to the end, till all the words I create, you know.
Okay, I just want to say this. So you're saying leave no one out. What about Satan?
What did you say about 10? Did you say, hold on, did you say 10? But if you say it, and you say it really slow, would you like to...
I didn't say 10.
No, but if you say what you just said again, I'm going to repeat it.
I didn't say 10.
Let me repeat it.
Lucifer.
Let me repeat what you said, what my ears heard. As the wind blew by me very quick, screaming out Satan, by the time it reflected into my ears, okay, I heard 8, 10.
Okay.
What is that when you hear Lucifer?
Okay, so Lucifer is part of the 333 Trinity creation. When you have the first 3 letters of LUC, it is 3, 12, and 21. It is 3, 12, and 21 equaling to 33 and 3, the base of the 33 creation, where 3 times 3 equals to the face or the 9 birth. And the 3 and 3 comes that when you come into birth, you become the 6 of the 9. The 9 is a continuous, and it comes through the breath. It never stops till the end of time. and it's always a new breath.
You want to hear something crazy? I actually agree with you. I believe that Lucifer is part of the Trinity.
So hold on. So are you saying that Satan is breath?
Let me tell you this, that if I understand correctly, and you're telling me Satan is part of the Trinity, when you go play baseball, you get 9 innings. Okay? Now, when you play, you only get 4.5 people, because 9 innings in French tells me about that 9 is only 4.5, because you need either 10 or 8 to complete people. 2 arms on each person. It's 8 or 10. It's not 9.
Okay, hang on. We got someone else on the camera. Hey, DJ, thanks for jumping on the camera. What did you want to share?
What did I want to share? Sorry, can you just explain, bro? I just rolled in. So what am I sharing?
So he
I'm happy to share.
He says that Lucifer is a part of the Trinity.
Okay, well, I disagree with that, and I think he's absolutely out of his fucking mind.
Well, I agree with that as well. And I'll back it up logically in a minute. He'll back it up with some
you
numbers.
can back up whatever you want.
Okay. So
what do I believe in?
MS asked a very nice question. MS earlier said, if you think that Lucifer is part of the Trinity, then you're also basically saying that Lucifer is a part of oxygen, which is breath, which you have originally told us. So how does that even make sense?
We cause it.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, we cause it.
You come up with some fucking delusional conspiracy or some way to say something weird in their own delusional world, that's fine. Not buying it. Sorry, guys. Love yous all.
So back it up logically without using the Bible.
Well, what are you talking about, bro? Lucifer's part of the fucking oxygen particles? What the fuck?
I didn't say that. I don't know what that means. But no. I'm saying I believe he's part of the Trinity.
There's actually, you have to understand, there are two, there's a spirit, there's a soul. Not only does number 1 live in the center, but the heart is split. Remember, you're the last one to make choice. So with the purity, okay, of thought, you have the objective to choose this or that. So you become what it is. So if there's any demons or devils or thoughts, that's only on your own.
Like, DJ, I don't know, it sounds like you read the Bible, but I don't know if you read the verse that says your father, the devil. There's a verse in there that says that. So if you think about that, right?
Can I be honest with you guys? Mm-hmm. So I've been religious, so maybe I came in... Look, I'm just going to say how I am, right? Now, I have been baptized. I've been brought up to believe in God my whole life, okay? Now, I'm not one to actually read the Bible, to a sense. I actually believe that I have a spiritual relationship with God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the Lord. I believe in something bigger than me, and I pray to Him every single day, and He helps me through. I lean on Him when I'm in trouble, and He helps me out. I also thank Him every single fucking day. All this, no matter if I'm going good or bad, I pray, and it makes me feel good spiritually. I believe when I meet a bad person, I get a sense of it because it's in my stomach. I can feel it, okay? I know what's good and what's bad. I don't believe in politics. I don't believe in getting involved too much in all the nitty-gritty. I just believe in the Lord, and that's it.
I don't know. I'm not going to judge you, but I just don't know how someone could truly follow or have faith in a particular, any kind of belief for that matter, without actually fully teaching yourself from the beginning to the end of all the information that's available on that.
Well, MS, I would say
that's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair, Darren. That's absolutely fair. But when it comes down to it, it's like, I mean, it'll be Christian, Catholic, fucking whatever else, all these other different religions. It's like, I don't. Is that not like just man-made? Like, did Jesus come down and? I mean, yes, He did, but like this, I believe that men are very evil. There's too many politics in all of this. I just pray to God, and he prays back to me. Well, he doesn't pray back to me. I'm very sorry. Wrong words. He listens to me. I talk to him all the time. I don't get involved in all that stuff. I believe it's bent, and it's not good.
Dude, but see, I think as humans, we kind of like, when it comes to people believing, not believing, having faith, like people are looking for God, right? Or a higher power or the source, whatever you want to call it, right?
Of course.
They're looking for this entity or energy, whatever, to answer, to speak to you in a human kind of way. And that's where people start doubting, because that's not
Don't
how
you feel
it
that
works.
inside of your body? Isn't that like in your sternum? That's where I feel it.
I think everyone
Like
feels
if I'm
it
doing
differently,
something
or
really fucked
experiences
up,
their
something
hears
really
it.
bad,
Yeah.
I get this feeling in my gut. It's like, dude, this is not good. You should not do this.
Yeah,
This
I
ain't
know
good.
exactly what you're
though,
saying.
man. That's just learned from being a human.
Right.
Yeah, but that I follow that intuition, and I pray and I believe that that's something
If there was a
spiritual.
God and you're talking to him, he doesn't even speak your language probably, but you probably know.
It's all the same God, man. It's just we're all too stupid to even realize it. It's just a big power, a big energy, the most beautiful, divine thing that you could even imagine.
It might even be so simple.
Yeah,
It might even be so simple that we. Oh my gosh.
Okay, guys, just quickly. I have some new people that have joined. Kyo, welcome. Just quickly, Kyo, are you over 18? Hello, Kyo, are you there? Kyo Shin. Hello, Kyo.
Kyo, you're on mute.
Kyo, you're on mute. We can't hear you. Are you still there? Yes or no? Okay,
Just
Kyo.
Orlando or J-Mart.
Okay.
Maybe send a. Do you know how to send an invite for her to unmute?
Yeah. I sent that.
You know what I don't believe in? I don't believe in tarot cards. I don't believe in astrology. I don't believe in psychics. I think that's all bullshit.
Okay. No.
Can I ask you a question, DJ?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yes,
I think there's a lot of
Absolutely.
deception. There's a lot of deception in this world, and I think what's the important thing is for us.
You know, just sorry, very, very sorry to interrupt it. My last little thing I'm going to say. You know what else I honestly starting to think? The fucking vaccine, man, may have had something to do with the mark of the beast. And I didn't take it. And we were forced upon something. It's the beginning. Shit's going to get bad. Things were getting crazy. And they forced something upon us.
Oh, hold on.
Right?
We didn't get forced to do anything.
DJ, I can actually disprove that right now. If you read the Bible, it says if you do
In
not
your arm or in your hand or whatever.
No, listen. It says
Wait, guys, Mr. Tack is showing us a shirt. What does it say?
It's in French or something. I can't read the
It's in
title.
French.
causing the virus.
False prophets. I
The
know
vaccine
that.
is the virus.
You can find this shirt online. I put it on sale online in 2015.
Okay,
But what is
let me
the
read
translation?
that.
What does it say? What does it say?
It says,
Hold it up again. I want to see it. Sorry.
Hey, DJ, just quickly, before we
Hold
discuss,
on, man.
guys, listen, wait, guys, DJ,
right,
DJ, just before we talk about more on this topic, let's not use the V word and
Yes.
and let's not
Copy.
use anything that will
Yeah,
cause
you
this
gotta
live.
watch your language.
Okay. Copy.
Can we just say what should we say, 19? Should we just call it 19 or?
V.
No,
Just
let's
say
call
V.
it the code word. The code
The
word.
white horse.
okay, there's something else I just want to add.
Oh, don't call it that. Oh my god.
Let's call it Lucifer.
What's up, fans?
Wait, why
Can I
can't
finish a point to DJ before I got cut off?
why can't we say the code word? What's the code word?
I think everyone gets it, don't they?
I don't know. There's so many words
I
on
said so. I said so, not yeah.
Oh, okay. So who wants to ask a question?
So I wanted to reiterate something to DJ before I got cut off. Was he thought the mark of the beast was the vaccine?
Oh, I didn't think that.
Wait. You can't say the V word.
Part of it.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay.
Just say jab. Just use jab.
The needle.
So, okay,
Jab.
You thought it was the beginning of it, or you thought it was? What did you think it was?
Well, I thought that it may have had something to do with the mark of the beast. I was just curious. I thought, it's enforced. You won't be able to trade. You won't be able to do this. You won't be able to do that. That seems to be what happened if you didn't have it.
No, you could still buy and sell. Now, it may be a setup for
You couldn't fly anywhere. You couldn't do a lot of things, bro.
Yeah, but everybody can't get the jab anyways.
I didn't get it. I was able to do almost anything.
What DJ is saying that what happened a few years ago is a trial system for the actual system.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I agree with that. Yeah. Yep. Can we force them to take this, and will they give up their morals?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Difficult for them. That was, and they even said that.
But let's stick to what the topic is about. Okay, what's the ultimate source, guys? So I'm here trying to find out the ultimate source, so we can all be happy and live happily ever after. So what's the ultimate source?
There is no happily ever.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
I do want to say something.
Okay, but wait, just before Mr. Tack, I just want to. So Lender, I don't know if you were here when Mr. Tack said. Because he believes in the Trinity, but he says that Lucifer is a part of the Trinity. Do you believe in that, Lendo?
I don't believe in that, but I know where he's coming from when he says that.
Okay.
Mr. Tech, do you believe in science? In numbers?
Well, I'm just telling you that the algorithms of the numbers are so perfect. So the numbers, the math between itself, the numbers of math, if you believe that you can use numbers to equate the reality of what's going on, you can inside game mode. Now, if we match it up outside the game, we're talking a different story. We can't bring something outside the game until we complete the game. I'm not complete. I started 20 years ago next week. And I'm not complete. I'm incomplete. I'm sharing on the go every which way that I create, where I find everything. Everybody should know what I know if you think anything that I know means anything at all. There's no patent.
So you equate words to numbers, right?
Numbers to words, words to numbers. I joggle them around.
Right?
What's that?
Yeah.
So it's mathematics, essentially.
I mean, do you want to see how precise our clock is? Do you want to see how precise the clock is?
Before you do that, please, can I ask you something, Tack?
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you earlier, if we're using a lot of things out of the Bible, because it sounds like you have, along with time, clocks, all of, a lot of things, systems that are around us, the calendar, the planets, when it comes specifically to the Trinity, right, why aren't we using the known original language? Why are we using English letters?
Why aren't we?
No, why are you in your examples, or any of these people with the game theory, right? Why are we based
because that's my
calculations off the English alphabet and not the original alphabet?
Hebrew, Latin.
Yeah.
Okay, so my PR is like this, okay? My personal relationship, P being 7, R being 9, I go into the mother, into the house through this relationship. If I associate the number 16, I will say 9 and 7 equals to 16. I'm not going to say 10 and 7 or 10 and 6. You know why? Because the Hebrews don't say Yod Hey, they go Tet Vav, and then they go Tet Zion. So now I'm using the Hebrew. So I use them all, whatever I'm capable.
So what about Yahweh?
So because of this, right, because of this, it is telling me before 6 or 7 exists, which is the heart of the entire space, It tells me that I cannot associate the 10, which is the yod. The yod is a creation between A, B, C, D association, or an association of the half-life, which is what is going to be AI, or what is going to be tet aleph. But they're saying they're going to say it just in one word as yod, but yod is an association.
Dude, it's a bunch of gibberish I don't understand.
Look, I'll show you. I'll show you. It's gibberish. If you don't understand, I'll explain it. Aleph is number 1.
Very complicated.
I'm gonna dumb it down. I'm gonna slow it down. Sorry. A is number 1. B is number 2. Okay. C is number 3. In Hebrew, it's Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey.
But weren't they all created by human beings? Like
No. I believe that the sister asked him why don't we use the original language? He was trying to answer it, but I don't know if he's answering it.
That would be because no one would understand it. You gotta talk it in English.
I mean, he's not telling us like who started numerology and why did they give us
so much context that it's so difficult to understand. Like he's missing 90% of the context.
Not really, man.
We just gotta let Tac talk because he was talking about the different languages stuff, but
Okay, Tac, my apologies, Tac. My apologies. Maybe I cut you off too soon. My apologies.
Okay, let's start over again. I'm doing this for 20 years. I'm doing this for 20 years. My only politic is to be gentle and nice, and I have a little bit of trouble with the expression, with the sharing, with the explanation, and I tend to jump from A to Z in one shot. So part of what I need to explain goes right back into where I didn't even explain the monopoly. If Luke would like to know this first.
Yeah, man. Because you use several different numbers for female and male, so if it's not consistent, it's very hard to follow.
Right, and it does flip-flop a little bit because of the number 1, but I'll explain that after, and it's only part of the atom. But just let me.
He was just putting those numbers together or breaking them down, and essentially it's still the same number. I don't know.
Okay, so let me show you let me just show you this. When you come into Monopoly, everybody gets to roll the dice. Okay? So far so good. You get to roll the dice. Remember, 20 years, I'm a truck driver, a pig farmer. I didn't start this. I had a vision. It's been sharing with me a vision for 20 years. I was writing for the first 4 years with a few videos. But in 2010 or 9, somebody asked me a question. Where's your book? Where's your mountain? Where's your this? So I shut my mouth. I said, I'm going to share it online, tell them what I see, tell me what's wrong with what it is, judge everything that I do so I can understand whether or not I'm seen properly, tell me my calculations are wrong. So now what I do is it's fish upon a wish. I show you where everything exists and the numbers and the words and the associations that come with all of this. This is that algorithm of this moment. This is where the French, the English come in. This is where the Spanish use the same language. The Hebrews have showed me by my last expression that they separate the Yod Hey, and that is number 15. So they express it as Tet Vav, which is 9 and 6 instead. The Yod Hey is going to be the expression in what is the word I am. The J and the E. It is the first crossing, and then it is the second and the third crossing. Okay, within crossing the number 5 over the system of 9. Tet. There is no Yod until Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet came together. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D. The lower house of 9 and the upper house. What is the lower and upper house? A, B, C, D below. F, G, H, I above. E connects everything. And now you can just rotate it just like they did in 1919 and 1929 when they had that rotation. That was that expression. The SS. It's holder of the Capricorn headstone, okay, with Sagittarius 10 and 9. What is so important about Sagittarius?
Astrology, right?
What is that?
You're talking about astrology.
Yes, because everything connects. There's nothing, we might speak the words, we may have written books, but we are nothing than the carcass that supports what comes from the breath, okay, with this organism that gives us the capabilities to think.
Yeah, I believe that. We're made suits. I get that.
So this is why I say the 333, which is the nail. The 333 represents the nail. Okay?
I don't get that. I don't understand.
The reason for this, okay? The reason for this, 3 times 3 equals to 9. 3 plus 3 equals to 6. That is our Trinity rotation. That is your birth, and that is your 6th day, your life. Okay? That's your cubic life. There are only 6 sides. Numbers only reflect themselves on the 6 duplication. You reflect yourself. 1, 2, 4, 8.
You've lost me there, brother.
16.
1 and 6 is 7. 14. 1 and 4 is 5, and that's the 6th one. What should have been 32 gets reduced to a single digit. After 32 is 64. 6 and 4 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. We start over. 6
Why
and
do you reduce 16 to a single digit?
Pythagorean count to a single digit explanation from the heart of the situation of the diameter for the father. A double digit for the mother, a single digit for the father.
And
What?
are you saying that these numbers are coding for like existence or like
Yes,
where all
yes,
the numbers-
yes. These are the ones telling me the stories.
Can I clarify something? Why are we using a cube and the 6 sides? Why, where does that come
Yeah,
from?
it's going to
There
be
are
a
other-
start to
other
it. It's going to be, yeah.
2 times what is the tetrahedron, in which has 3 plus 1 backside, is what is the hexahedron, to what is now the cube, to what has 6 sides from 3 sides and 1 side, to only gives you what could have been 3 and 1 side equaling to 4, that when you move up to the level of the hexahedron, it only equals to 1.5 times the area side space. Do you follow that? I know it's difficult. Meaning that you went...
I do, to a point,
I'm
but
listening, but I
So,
don't
MSB, please explain that to me in layman's terms.
Okay.
Since you understand it, please explain it to me.
oh man, that's gonna be hard to do.
Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, watch.
Thank you.
There's one...
There's so much
Like a kindergartner.
Wait, let
there's
him
so
talk,
much to
let him
unload.
talk, let him talk,
It's
let him talk.
hard to do. But okay, right there. But you have in your hand, we're on the same wavelength here.
This
Why
is...
are we not using the triangle? Why are we using the cube? You gave us the breakdown, but why aren't we using the triangle?
Well, this is the
Can you
triangle.
explain the breakdown?
This is the 3D triangle.
It's a pyramid, right?
It's a tetrahedron.
There's 4 sides there. If you're
No, you have to sit it down flat.
Pyramid has 4 sides.
3 sides, 120 degrees each. Your first 360 that you can possibly do is a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
But you know
Or
what?
circle.
The thing is, which side are you measuring first? You know the NASA sign represents this?
All the same. Yeah, everything's the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. But
No matter which direction it's facing.
but you see, you can turn it 3 times, and then turn it 3 times. You have 4 by 3 equals to 12.
I'm gonna use my markers and pencils with my son and do that. That looks fun.
Yeah, but now what does that mean though? Like it's all the same, but what does that mean?
This is, okay, for me, because I understand that 3 goes between 4, it's telling me there's a corridor in understanding this. Therefore, if there's 3 sides, I need 2 of these. So I got 2 of them.
In the chat, Mr. Tack, do you see the question in the chat? A guy was asking, how does this relate hexagonal versus octagonal creation?
Okay, 8 versus 6. One relation is 6, one relation is 8. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 creates 8 and 6. When in the cubic world, right, all your 8s will be inverted to 6. If you see 5 and 1, you're going to see 6 and 2. If you see 5 and 3, you're going to see 4 and 2. If you see 3 and 3, you're going to see 4 and 4. But not only do you now see them, but would you like to see the math magic?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got a pen? Here it is. 4 times 4 is 16, and I'll explain that whole page after if you want. See, this is nothing. It has nothing to do with me knowing anything. I just know the equations. That's all. 4 times 4.
Wait. I have a crazy question for you.
Hey, hang on, Luke. Just before you begin,
But then that gets changed to 7, doesn't it?
Let host talk.
wait, guys, just before that, Adri A has just joined. I just want to give her a chance to speak. Go ahead.
Oh, I was invited and I had a question. I don't even know what that is. I came in and I see hexagonal and octagonal creation, and I've never even heard of it. So, what is it?
So, Mr. Tack is just about to explain. And Luke had a crazy question. Now, Luke, your crazy question is that can you just remember that for now and just let Mr. Tack finish what he was about to say?
Sure.
Put it in the chat so we don't forget, Luke.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, I'll remember it.
Okay, hold on. I'm not sure if you're picking up my picture properly.
Wait, so
Hold on. I have to plug this thing in before it robs me of my time. Stop robbing me of my time. Don't interrupt me. Everybody comes in. Do you know, I don't know if anybody has seen this, right? But there has been 2 people who have come in here that really look like they just come here to disturb our time for a few seconds before they move on, just to make sure our algorithm or our thinking is broken, because they know the way it works. We're at a period of time. I have been doing this for 20 years. I have been listening to people tell me things, just only 6 months listening to conversations, really, right? And I see what's going on in the system. It's amazing. It heightens my vibration to see the deceit, the fakery outside here. It doesn't matter for me if it's real or it's fake. It just gives me that vibration because I can see the difference. Once you notice the difference, that is everything. That is where the vibration, a jet doesn't take off until it has full understanding of the difference, and that's when the wind is blowing towards the face and you're facing God right towards it, right? There shouldn't be any wind. There's nothing there. I don't see it, but it's pushing me. We're having a hard time. It's full throttle.
Tacpans.
Calm down.
Slow down, cowboy.
Okay, so here.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, when I showed you this side of the dice.
Yeah, that's them breaking down the 4 times 4, the 2 cubes.
They're opposite of each other.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. It's
okay, this is the heart of the entire cube. Only the 3 and 4 can be the gateway of all 3 7 gates.
That's no longer a cube now.
Well, there's a lot of stories going on, so you can add whatever you like. I'm going to just have to broaden I have to push more branches, push more flowers, so I can remember to take the tea out at night, so I can sift through it to understand everything that went on through the day. So everything anybody's going to say, there's going to be another story.
Keep going, Tack.
Go on.
I'm trying to listen.
Please.
So I'm just showing you where I understand that there is a creator, because they gave it to us on a silver platter that we should reach this period in time when Jan, Alex, J, L, A, L, DJ is here, all together now listening to these words, that we are going to take this for our own personal reason forward. Our IP address, our RIP address, where the Capricorn stone goes when they lay to rest, of the 6 feet under. I don't have 6 feet, but there's a reason for it. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 16 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. The 24th letter is X. 4 plus 4 is 8, H. So just give me a second.
I'm going to wait till you're done for my question or comment.
When you do the 3...
question before, though.
3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. It's cuckoo crazy.
It's all a mathematics problem. I don't even get it.
This is way out of my depth. I'm not going to pretend it isn't, but I have no idea.
I'm going to...
You have to let him finish, I think.
Okay.
I will explain to you exactly what I'm doing. Do you know how to multiply 4 times 4, and do you know how to add 4 plus 4? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You don't have to know anything more.
Okay.
3 times 3 is 9. You don't have to know anything more. 3 plus 3 is 6. You don't have to know anything more.
Yep.
When you add the 16 and 8 together, it equals to 24.
Why is 16 and 8 a predominant number that you need to add together?
4 times 4 is 16. 4 plus 4 is 8.
Why 16 and 8? 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 24. I mean, whatever.
No, it's 16.
Well, whatever.
It's when you die.
It's 20.
He's saying, why are those numbers predominant?
Yeah, why are those numbers like important?
Okay, more than one story at a time. One of the things about these two numbers is that it's the only ones. This is one of the numbers that only happens 4 times on a cube. No other number happens like this. The number 7. It happens a multiple of times.
More significant.
It's the only number that's relevant to what is 11, which also happens 4 times on on 2 cubes and on a singular cube itself, and on the reflective side of a cube.
So that makes it like a religious number that everyone.
It doesn't need to be religious anything. It's just telling everything about that. When you find and understand that all the equations of everything that exists can be calculated and understood through these cubes, through understanding the 26 letters of that alphabet, and even other languages, whether you're using French. The French have taught me.
It's an ideology, bro. I don't know.
The French have taught me. You see, this is the game. Remember, this has nothing to do with religion or anything. You're in a game source. I'm just making a game. That's all. I'm just using everything in life to make a game. It's nothing to.
Mr. Tech, can I ask you a question, Mr. Tech?
Yeah.
Or is that, if that's okay?
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is that basic math, you can use basic math to understand certain events and things that happen in the world.
More or less, yes.
Or less, or just throughout life and stuff like this, right?
For what period of time it fell, it has its reason.
Okay. And then you're saying that because we have these certain systems, is that the system itself is not from man, but it's been hijacked, basically, is what you're saying?
Okay, I can't say that. I do have to look deep into it because of what hasn't been. There's a few things that have not been revealed yet that I began. One of them is the monopoly. The other is the teacher. The other is the THC. If I don't explain each part of how we build the planet, remember, planet for me and Atlantis for me is burying the communication systems in a location that is very hard to get to, and that's underneath the ocean. And then we bury it. And then we get Noah out.
You know your argument, though, or not argument, you would know what you believe in, I guess.
Luke, you're
what
wild.
You're saying, the mathematics thing you agree to, but...
you do too.
You know, what you're trying to say, you don't seem too confident. You need to do research yourself. Wouldn't that be your own ideas?
Oh, whether or not 1 times 2 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6?
No, the math thing, I got that. But like the rest of it, you said, I'm going to have to look deper into this.
Yeah, but what does the math have to do with anything at this point, Pams? Like, you're doing a whole bunch of math equations and you're making these things, but like, what is the end point?
The end point. The end point.
Saying that the numbers equal out. The numbers you have to, if you understand if you understand basic math, like you can understand how things pan out. Like, dang man, see now I'm starting to talk like Mr. Tech. Like it's like he's using the numbers.
Look at the result.
But there is no end game.
Yes.
The numbers are infinite. There is no end game in this. The
ancient Egyptians didn't look at numbers the same way. Ancient people didn't look at numbers, and they didn't look at them the same way we do. So it's just a different game now. Like
you remind me. I had an experience where I did ayahuasca, and it was a couple years ago, and the whole room split apart in like fractals, freaked me out, and your whole room reminds me of that experience. Have you done that? Is that where you started this search for numbers?
No, but I'm very happy to hear that you have an open spirit and you dove in and you were able to find that vibration, that healing vibration, because before you're going to do any element at all, you have to be healed within your own spirit, within your own soul. So I just want to congratulate you, and that is absolutely a beautiful feat. That is absolutely beautiful.
It was a crazy experience, yeah.
Mr. Tech, I've been waiting. I've been waiting like 20 minutes to ask a question.
Yeah, jump up, brother, jump up.
Yeah, can I ask a question? All right, so Mr. Tack, I have a 4-sided dice. I have a 6-sided dice. I have an 8-sided dice. I have a 10-sided dice, a 12-side, and a 20-side. If anyone can answer this question, it's got to be you. Why does a 6-sided dice have 8 corners and an 8-sided dice have 6 corners? Look at that smile.
Yeah, let's see the map. Come on now.
Let me just think. I just want to see what they did. So they took 2 tetrahedrons of 4 and 4 sides and put them together.
Hold on, can I? Is this a tetrahedron? Is this what you're referring to as a tetrahedron? This 4-sided?
Yeah,
dice?
that's yes.
It's like a cow trap. The point always lands up.
So you see the way 4 becomes 6 because 2 run together. It's a hallway. It's like where the sand drops in the hourglass. This is where
There's
6
no
and
6. There's no 6 on this dice. There's only 4 sides.
yes, there's only 4 sides. Yes, because 6 is a put together.
Here's the 6-sided dice.
Yes, it's a put together. This is when they add the cross into the dice. This is when they put separation. I don't know all the diametrics, okay, but I have a bunch of them. Okay, here. Your basic separation of the core. We don't need to go big in the universe. We need to understand the minute. So one of the minute over here, and that 432 over there in your dice, you see that?
Yes, this.
What's between 2 and 4?
3.
And what's on the outside?
What's that?
What's on the outside of your two of the 4 and the 1? Of the 4 and the 2?
Outside? What are you?
Yeah, 1 is before 2 and 5 is after 4, equaling to 4, 3,
Right, so
2.
it's always, so there's 4 sides. So whichever points up is the roll. So that's a 4. That's a 1.
Okay.
That's a 3.
But there's 3 sides to see. Are there only 1 side that goes up?
No, there's 4 sides to see. There's 3 around
Yeah.
the top and 1 on the bottom.
Yes, correct. But when you roll it, you can look at all 3 sides. But you can only
sides at a time.
Can you see 2 sides at a time? Can you see all 3 sides at one time?
If you look from the top, you can.
No top. That's not it. You're the god if you look from the top. That you're not allowed to be at the top. You have to only can be from the side. 20.
No, you're right. I can only see. Yeah, I can only see 2 at a time. Yeah,
Okay, because all of these things are schematics. Okay, and one of the things is this over here is the smallest you can get. These are the differences. Here's a 22. Here's a 33. What does this mean? This 1 dot is the heart of this separation of the window of 4, which can have the half area space of this area over here, the diamond card. The half area is shared above as it's shared below to what is here, which is now 4 dots, which creates an area space or a heart space in which what they call the segals. Okay, one of the reasons for the segals, it's a heart space. So when we're measuring a segal, understand it the way it is. Over here we change this to the heart. Over here we extend the arms. It now becomes this. These 2 are different from each other. This is going to create what is the separation of the 7th gate. If you look at this,
so
you
how
can.
does it separate?
You can look at this I'll show you. If you look at this, you can also look at this as darts, as the bullseye, 50 and 25 equaling to 75. And don't forget, I'm going back to Monopoly first. Because we have to answer all the questions, otherwise I come up here and I said a whole lot of nothing right now.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
When you come over here, it takes 12 to get here.
Love you too, brother.
This Monopoly board has 40 to go around. Would you agree or disagree?
I don't know. I haven't counted them.
I have no idea.
Here's the 2 sides. Screenshot it. Count it up.
One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4.
Yeah, it's 40. Yep. Okay.
When you get over to the electric company, how many is that from go?
Oh, I think you said before, right?
But you won't be collecting $200. I know that much.
That's a board game, though, ain't it? So, like, I don't understand.
Everything that is fair between me and you, not discussable, no arguments, lots of discussion, so we can only expand on the understanding of the reality of the game. Fair to me, fair to you. Everything that's fair, everything that's cheap, things we don't need school with, logic, rational thinking. That is it.
I mean, that sounds pretty good, the way you just put it, but...
Yeah, but is that reality, though? What's fair?
This is a game.
It is kind of reality. It is kind of reality.
I agree, like, it was a game.
But
Yeah,
at the same
what's
time, like,
reality? Nobody knows where we come from. So, like, you
It's
know,
perception. Reality is perception. It's how you perceive it. It's
nobody can even answer who is the source.
And then there's packs
No,
that
so-
they come up with a thing and everyone runs
we can
for
answer
it.
what
Yeah,
is
that's
source.
Nobody knows who the
it
source
was
is.
put there to create order.
So did the Bat's Mitzvah, when the Bat's Mitzvah is in the 12th year of the female. Okay, right over here. But guess what? On the board,
just an idea, though.
on the
Wait,
board
wait,
when
Mr.
counting.
Mr. Tack, quick question. I'm just curious to understand why are you using this monopoly thing to well, what's this monopoly got to do with everything that you're trying to say? I don't get
I
it.
want to tell you how the world works, brother.
Okay, so all the games tell a different story, right? So I'm just telling you the number story that comes out of the game that has a relationship to words that use the same numbers, to periods of time in our year that use the same numbers.
Okay. wait. You're wrong for that, man. You're wrong for that. Alec, wait. Just quickly, wait. Why is Luke making me laugh? Hey, Luke, what's going on?
because
Stop making me
it
laugh.
was like he's trying to tell you how the word works, brother, and it just
I've been
cold
listening to
funny.
Okay, wait. Guys, can we be serious? Wait, I'm trying
He's been serious this whole time, Drew. He's been serious this whole time. I haven't seen Mr. Tech laugh not one time.
Hey, laughter is the spice of life, my friend.
Mr. Sacco.
Okay.
I knew that was coming out too.
Wait. Let Mr. Tack speak. All right, Mr. Tack, I want to know what's Monopoly got to do with everything. What's going on?
Zachary Hubbard.
And Mr. Sock.
Let the socks
And
off.
Mr. Sock. I want to know how he comes into it.
Fucking dude, please be quiet, man. God.
There used to be some.
I'll shut my mouth. All
I'm
right.
not sitting here wasting my life looking at this fucking sock. Let's get back to this.
Okay. And don't think the sock is...
DJ says something at Australian accent.
Okay, you want to do it? I mean, okay, so in this Monopoly game, it shows you the expression of where it links up to our vibration. It links up to the pole of creation, the three poles of creation. It links up to the Vatican gates, the constellations, the power of the Christ. It shows birth inside the house. It shows you how we arrive between the altering moons. Okay.
I think he just has a different brain, and like the way he's learning how to, I mean, he's telling us how he perceives and correlates everything, and he's using that as an example. You know,
He's on a different wavelength than the rest of us. I understand
I
that.
understand this. I've heard other people describe things very, very similar. Like, he's not the only one who looks at things this way.
Hey,
I'm not saying
Tack.
it's wrong.
Hey,
I'm saying
Tack.
it's very hard to understand without the context that's required to understand it.
Hey, Tack.
Because I think you're trying to compare it to what you already know. This is the new concept, so you have to throw everything out that you
It's not a new
are
concept.
currently using to. Well, that's the examples he's been giving us. That's,
Hey,
that's the
Exactly,
monopoly.
it's a new concept.
Let J-Mar talk real quick, guys.
They've
Wait,
explained
guys,
it.
just quickly. I just want to know how is Monopoly gonna lead us to the source?
Hey, Tack. Hey,
Wait,
Tack.
guys.
Agreed.
Yeah, I
Tack,
really
can
want
you
to know.
go back 20 years and tell us your first experience and what brought you into this quote-unquote game of
Does it have to be 20 years? Does it have to be 20 years?
He said he's been
Yes.
studying for 20 years.
Okay.
I want to
20
know
years,
what
okay.
the source was that brought this information to you, and
No information. I've just come across it. I've legit been brought here for some whatever reason.
He said he had some type of experience, and I want to hear what that was.
I'm trying to remember
420. He used 420 to get in touch with it, I think he said earlier.
Are you willing to share 20 years ago what started this?
More or less, when I had my heart attack, okay, on that day that I jumped over my balcony to get into the house, just so I can get online to just blurt out a few words and then get somebody to pick me up. That was, is that deep? I've got since 2010 documents, stories since 2005 of everything I've done all online. So if I hide something now, I'd only be hiding it from one person, myself, because it is only with everybody's judgment and understanding of the differences can I ever bring this work forward. If it has no meaning at all,
brother. Hey, I'm not hating. I'm not taking the piss.
It has absolute meaning. That I would never discredit what you described to all of us.
Oh, we just don't understand it.
Oh yeah, I can do it 1,000 times.
Understand it.
So can I before I get into that, let me finish this.
I can't explain it.
I think I can give you a little light, some of you folks, and that is if you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, it says that there's a time and a purpose for everything under heaven.
Yes.
Okay? And in that, there's a time to gain, a time to lose, a time for all those things. And you can start using, and I've got to be careful with my words because a lot of these different types of sciences have been misconstrued and have been used in dark, shadowy ways. I'll just put it that way. And if you're not grounded in,
nothing's got power over you.
Very biblical
energy to it.
Teachings, or have had any type of experience from a Christian angelic realm, then you can get into paths which are very dark and leads to portals and various things of that nature.
It's evangelicals that get into the dark path without being in the dark path.
You can go if you're not careful. That's right. If you don't know the spirit.
Let me ask you a question though. Have you ever heard the saying that if you meet someone who has all the answers, you better run from that dude? Why is it that Christianity
that's wrong
answers and everyone else is wrong? Why? Everyone else.
Can I address what he brought up first?
Because I have talked with an angel and he had all the answers. I just didn't have the right questions.
All right. Who created the universe?
Never told me that.
The God, Yahweh.
Right, so you're just gonna ignore me and keep asking more questions. All right.
All right, AMAZE. What do you?
They were talking first. Let them finish. Wow.
Miss,
This is the whole thing with that, Jay. I respect your beliefs, but not everybody believes in the Bible, right? So that's where I come from.
And that's everybody. That's your opinion.
Absolutely. No, but
and
this is what.
That's a fact. Not everybody.
Okay, but I'm not done explaining what I want to say. When it comes to the Bible, right, this is my perception when I read exactly that verse that you just brought up. That warning is there for Christians to not dabble, I guess you can say, into these areas because it's going to bring you further away from Him, right? So it's a form of control, in my opinion. But if you feel like you have, like you mentioned, enough maturity, enough of a strong foundation, I feel like what is the harm? What is the harm in that?
Nothing.
Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Because I truly believe that I truly believe man wrote the Bible. That's not saying I don't believe in God, and that's not saying I don't believe in Jesus, but I know that man is prone to mistakes and other things, you know?
I think J Mark's trying to say living a certain way is going to be better for you, though.
Hey, how
So, look,
strongly
I have a
are the
question.
COVID vaccines rocked about?
What I'm saying is that, yes, anytime
That's a good
the
question.
Lord speaks, it goes to man, and man interprets what he says, right? And that interpretation is based on your learning, your wisdom, your experience of the past, and things of that nature as to what the message is or was.
You
Now,
guys vaccinated?
that said, yes, there are parts of the Bible where man has interjected or taken out things for control of people.
So you don't believe that the Bible is the infallible Word of God, or you do believe that?
I believe that some of it. I was
asking Jay specific.
Oh,
I'd say, if we want a percentage, I'd say 80%.
Hello.
Yeah, what happened to you last night?
Oh, Vincenzo called and we were talking and stuff like that. I didn't really have time to look at the races and stuff like that. The last race,
Yeah.
I said to you, I like the 10 at 27-1, but then it went down to 7-1.
Okay.
And I went to a different horse, and then the 10 ended up coming in at 10-1.
Okay, I know. I think there were a lot of 10s yesterday. I think
Okay.
there were a lot of 10s yesterday.
Anyways, are you coming into town?
No, it's raining. Well, now it's not raining anymore. It's supposed to rain.
Okay. No, I meant like, are you coming into your sister?
Oh, I'm supposed to come in.
When?
I'm supposed to come in tomorrow. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I'm just not sure. I mean, if I come in tomorrow, then we definitely can go tomorrow night.
Oh no, I was talking about giving you my mom's stuff and everything.
Oh, I'm just gonna come in. Whenever I come in, I'm gonna call you right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you don't wanna head out tonight then?
No, I'm in a show right now, and I'm already accepted Carolyn's dinner.
Okay.
You know, and I just accepted like 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
Because we didn't talk. I wasn't sure what to do, but if I finish earlier, I'll let you know. Well, anyways, I'm out of there by 8 o'clock. Anyways.
Oh, okay. So listen, if you're up to it, let me know. That's all.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Ciao.
This. There's a lot of different translations, the Jehovah Witness translation,
Yes.
the translation.
Yes, those are
And they did change it. So, like, it can be changed. It can be misinterpreted. It can be.
Yes, and that's
that is very much.
80%. But that said, understand that it's not about what's in the Word is more important. What's more important is understanding the entity which you want to call God.
Yes.
Holy
Just
Spirit.
praying to the higher energy, the Creator.
That's
Why is it
right.
gonna be so
That's the
difficult?
most important thing, is to have a
Why
relationship.
can't we all just have a relationship with the one? Why we all got, like all these different religions, politics, fucking bullshit?
Because of politics.
It's like,
You know,
Jesus,
the Bible, DJ, like I wrote in the chat, you know, like I had said to you earlier, before a lot of these people joined, is that people are looking for God to speak to them in the way that we speak, and that's not how things
Isn't that a
work.
spiritual thing that you just
He
do?
has a variety
It
of
is.
ways to
It
speak
is.
to people, and he can speak to their heart. He can speak verbally, words just like I'm speaking to you. He can speak through an angel. He can speak through another person, but it all depends on if you're listening and you perceive that to be the Word of God.
Yep.
That's my point. That's my point. And
But that's when you channel back to your body, and you got your soul, and you can feel what is right and wrong. You know, if you're doing something bad, you have that feeling that comes within you. It's like, this ain't right. I gotta get out of here.
And that's called
It's in
discernment.
your body.
Hey guys, Mr. Tap got his hand up for quite a while.
Go ahead. I've seen that too.
Our own personal relationship with the breath and understanding our own logical and rational choices that we make is understanding what are the choices of others when we are making our own choices. So if you're going to have, for myself, a personal relationship to anything or anyone, is the respect of everyone that is around you, understanding that they also might not be as logical or rational as you, making you that God figure amongst everything that surrounds you when you make that choice.
Unless you don't want to deal with people and you live by yourself.
I agree with that.
Thanks.
I don't have any problem with that.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, that kind of tight.
If we go to the book of Ecclesiastics, it talks about times and seasons. It talks about times to win, times to lose, times of war, times of peace. And through that, and you can use numerology, and I'm going to just throw that out there in astrology, especially Chinese astrology, because I've studied a lot of that. And you can talk about enemy signs and signs that get along. And every 12 years, here's what I can tell you. Every 12 years, you have a good year, a great year, and a bad year. Okay? Every 12 years, it happens. Energy flows to you, or energy moves away from you. It's the year of the rat, or the snake this year. If you were born in 1989, you're having a fantastic year, because energy is flowing to you.
So what? So my experience is totally different. I spent 20 years addicted to substances, and every one of those years was a bad year. But the last 3 years have been unbelievable.
Hallelujah. Amen.
So why is it every 12 years?
Because that's the way the energy flows. That's
My brother's
all I
born
can
in
tell you.
81. He's had a terrible year.
That's the way energy flows.
Not the way energy flows for me. Maybe that's your only perspective. So I would be careful to
Well, and it
put
is
that on everyone
that
else.
is my perspective. But that said, I've watched loved ones and know their birth dates and stuff like that, and I can see the positive and the negatives as well. Now, addiction and different things of that nature, you can bring different karmas on yourself by doing different things that can throw negative and positive energy more towards you or away from you.
Well, then that could alter the year that you're receiving that good energy, right?
Yes.
You know, so it could differ for everybody. Like if you're...
Wait a second. Actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you're putting out good energy and you're only being around, if you're choosing to manifest or bring goodness and good energy around you, then wouldn't that attract other good energy?
Absolutely. Then the spiritual side of that is do unto others that you would have them do unto you, right?
Right.
Forgiveness,
That's
all of those things are part of that energy and that vibration that you can go back to 3